Going live. I think we're live now, guys. I don't know. Let me just set up a few things. Welcome to this live stream of DCS. All being well, everything will run smoothly. I'm just going to try and see if I can get a chat window up, which you will see actually this time because of the way I'm doing it. So hopefully. That's the live stream. Hello, Melissa Chapel. Who are you? Oh yeah, you're my girlfriend. Can you hear me okay? Hopefully you can. God, I'm such a noob at this. I'll have to just put that window there for the time being and see how that is. We are in the F-18 Hornet today. It is dark, don't worry. It will get light very soon. It's basically dawn break. And we are going to go on a bit of a navigation mission in peacetime to get current with this beautiful jet. Let's have a look outside a moment, although you won't see much at the moment. Hang on, let me just change the view again. It's a bit awkward this, but of course you won't see it though, not though, it's a bit dark. But rest assured, the sun will be coming up very soon. So we've got everything configured actually with this aircraft. Oh god, I adore this aircraft so much. And we're just going to get going. So, with that being said, let's crack on. And let's see those afterburners as we, especially at night time, they'll look incredible. So let's get a view there. Oh, here we go, watch this. Wow, amazing. Alright, keeping on the centre line best I can. Speed is so fast with this bird. And we are up. So first things first, actually I should have done this before we took off, and that's get our HSI up so we can get our plan route. There we go, that's the plan. That's our little route, and hopefully, as I say, the sun will be coming up very soon. That is part of this particular mission, that it comes up very quickly. And you'll get some incredible views of this new Persian map. Which I'm not sure, is this the newest map? I don't know, that DCS has. Hopefully frames and stuff will be okay, considering I'm live streaming, but I thought, because I've actually done this particular... Oh, the dogs are barking. Is that the postman? I've actually done this particular video already, but I used Steamvr mirror, and it was so horrendously laggy. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to scrap it. So I'm hoping I've managed to find a way of using the Windows Mixed Reality portal through OBS. So I'm hoping that's going to be a bit smoother. All being well. Cannot get over the sounds in DCS. That, I think, if anything, that struck me the most. If I had to pick one thing that I was, you know, completely just amazed by with this sim, it's the sounds. And then, of course, all the crazy systems that. And the obsessive, you know, attention to detail of the aircraft. Wow, beautiful. Apologies for that desktop view. I've just got that there. In fact, what I'll do is I'll get rid of that for now, just so you can get a better view. So, let's enjoy this rather spirited tour of the Persian Gulf. I think it should last about an hour. It's a very nice route, takes in Dubai as well, and that famous tall building which I can't remember the name of. But I'm learning this the F-18 Hornet nice and slowly. I'm able to now fully start the aircraft up cold and dark without any tutorial, which is really a rewarding experience. When you can, do things properly, it's fantastic. It's been a while since I've really studied an aircraft. I think the last time it must have been maybe the TBM, I think. Can't remember now, but yeah, I think it was the TBM in X-Plane. But when you really get to know the aircraft, you study the manuals, you go through the tutorials, and you just get to know every little detail. Oh wow, look at that, the sun is starting to be coming up in a moment. It's a really rewarding experience. DCS is a gorgeous looking sim as well, very, very nice. And I'm in the HP Reverb today. I will always be in the HP Reverb pretty much with most of the flight sims that are out. That's including DCS, Aerofly of course, IL2. I've been having some fantastic fun in that, and actually, just to let you know, there's a brand new update for IL2 just come out, which is improved damage modelling. So I really need to check that out. I've just finished the Spitfire campaign, and that was incredible. Super smooth frame rate right now. Let's go for a bit of a flyby. There she comes. God, that never gets old. Go easy with that afterburner, because as I say, we should have enough to get round this particular loop, so long as you don't get a bit carried away. Oh, I don't know if you can see that, guys, but the sun is just starting to come up. You probably can't, it's quite a ways off, but that looks epic. In a moment, the sun, the shine of the rays of the sun is just going to go right over the terrain, and that's going to be really spectacular. Oh wow. Oh, that is incredible. Beautiful. In fact, can you see there, look, the sun is now shining on the canopy and the what do you call that bit? The sort of the nose of the aircraft there, where the panel meets the actual instrument gauge. Look at the redness there, that is gorgeous. I think the lighting in this sim is second to none. So we're going to enjoy a beautiful sunrise here in the F-18 Hornet in the HP Reverb. Oh guys, doesn't get much better than this, does it really? Stunning. Hopefully that's not too loud for you guys, but I mean at the end of the day, an F-18 Hornet is loud. Get that away. So there we are, the sun is coming up, and we are following our little flight plan here. Sip of coffee. It's around around with some of these instrument lights. Oh wow, that looks amazing. Look at that. That is such a nice cockpit environment. The reverb is so good. And it's really good as well with black levels. And that's one thing, in fact, I don't quite know how the HP have done it, but the black levels of the reverb, even though it's an LCD panel, is really good. Very convincing black levels. And compared to, say, the Rift S, the Rift S is pretty atrocious. It's kind of like a grey, light grey colour. But it feels very black inside the reverb at night time, which is a surprise. I think my landing lights off actually. So as I say, this is just a peacetime navigation tour of the Persian Gulf map. We're going to be right down in the weeds a bit later on once the sun comes up. It's funny, you know, I can actually hear right now outside that is a couple of F-15s from Lakenheath, where I live, having a play in the sky, doing a bit of dog fighting. They've been doing that quite a lot, and since we're on lockdown in the UK, it's been quite good fun just sitting in the garden and enjoying a bit of an air show, and I can hear them now. And they always seem to do it when I decide to have a flight in the F-18 even. My current G limit with this aircraft, as you can see there, is 5.7 Gs. Everything is looking good on our display here, so what we'll do is actually we'll put it to our engine. FCS is basically kind of like the annunciator panel, I suppose, of the F-18 Hornet. It lets you know that everything's working fine. We go to, still new to this, but I think engine, and then that's all our engine information there. Extremely loud, but then this aircraft is a beast of an aircraft. It really is. Right, let's have a look, see here. Dave, have you found this? Have you found the autopilot controls yet? Actually, I haven't. I haven't messed around with the autopilot yet. But I see here there's an AP switch, so I'd imagine that will be, if I press that, then you've got altitude, heading select, the B altitude and R altitude. And imagine the fighter aircraft, much like the Harrier and the, what else? The Tomcat, the autopilot is a very simple affair in some of these aircraft. We won't be using that today because, as I say, this is all about hands-on flying and enjoying some of these epic views, which are going to get really stunning later on. So say the sun is coming up all the time now. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of there. And by the time we get to the to Dubai, which I think might be to our left side because we're going to be doubling back. Yes, it is. We'll drop right down and enjoy some bit of Top Gun style action. Yes, autopilot, the BLs. Okay, cool. Well, I'm not going to bother with that today, but as I say, I'm going through all the training missions at the moment and thoroughly enjoying doing all of them. And actually, I'm finding I'm getting to grips with this aircraft a lot quicker than I thought I would. I thought it would take me absolutely ages, but I think, as I said before, the reason why I decided to get the F-18 is because it just feels quite logically laid out compared to some of the other aircraft. It just feels right for me. I kind of understand it a lot easier. Just whatever the reason is, I don't know. But I did find the Mirage and the F-16 and the Tomcat a little bit, just a bit more, less well laid out, if that makes sense. But I don't know, the F18 just kind of works. Look at that sunrise, guys. That is epic. To think that we can do this in VR is incredible. To have this kind of graphic level, this kind of eye candy, whilst displaying two different displays in the cockpit, sorry, in the headset. And my computer isn't by any means powerful these days. It's more of a mid-range computer. I don't know if you can see that, guys, but as we're heading to the sea, the sunshine is casting incredible, beautiful rays on the water there. That is epic. We'll get a bit closer to that in a second. Wesley, hello Wesley. Are you using the Reverb 1s or a HOTAS? No, I'm using the mouse. Although there is, I mean, I have messed around. You can use like a VR hand in the cockpit, but I don't really like it. It doesn't really work that well. So I just use the mouse, which is fine. And don't hate me for this, but I'm using a CH Eclipse yoke. Now, it actually feels really good, personally, and at the moment I don't do enough military fast jets to warrant me spending £400 on a HOTAS system, but I probably will in the future. But right now I'm finding that the Eclipse yoke feels fine, and it's got like quite a defined edge to the handle, so it almost feels like I'm using a joystick anyway. It does feel like that anyway, to be honest. And I'm a huge fan of this CH Eclipse yoke. I know it's been out for about 20,000 years, and I know it looks like a kid's toy, but the actual feel of it, it's really good, really good. Hope you can hear me alright. Top stuff. You're heading off to download DCS. Good man. You won't regret it. Just give yourself time though, because it's very, well, I don't know, have you actually played it before? I don't know if you have. If you have, then just ignore me. But my first few attempts at flying in DCS, I was totally amazed, but I was also a bit taken back by the level of, it's a very steep learning curve. So just play around, make sure, just take time getting all your settings, like your rudder and your aileron, all of the different switches. In fact, that's another thing I love about the Eclipse yoke, is it's basically peppered with buttons everywhere on the yoke. And I've got all of them to different functions, like the speed brake or the sidewinders and different weapon systems, flaps, all the other stuff that you'd expect. I've got it all bound to my Eclipse yoke, so I don't really need to mess around too much with the mouse, if that makes sense. Right, I'm going to go outside now because that view is quite simply breathtaking. Just a quick flyby. For a view, guys, what do you think to that? Oh, in VR, it's just incredible. Wow. Never played it before. Okay, yeah, as I say then, just give yourself a bit of time to get to grips with just some of the aircraft. By the way, the default aircraft aren't so VR friendly. I'm not sure, do they have clickable cockpits? I can't remember, but I know I did struggle. I had to use the keyboard keys and stuff like that, so you just got to unfortunately give it time. I think the first few experiences might be a bit frustrating, but it's worth your time and effort, trust me, especially when you get a few payroll aircraft. And it's really good in VR. Once you get everything set up, it's very, very smooth. Runs better than X-Plane right now, and that's got Vulcan, so there you are. funny, you know, usually sounds in a flight sim, you usually say, yeah, they sound realistic, or yeah, they're pretty, you know, they're almost like the real thing, or God, you know, they're really authentic. But that right there, that is real. Absolutely 100% real. There's nothing to distinguish that from the sim version to the real version. It's exactly like it should sound. Well done, DCS, for that. You are the very first flight sim developer to make sounds that damn realistic that you cannot distinguish between the real version and the simulated version. We want the ATC auto-throttle map wants to start doing missions not possible to use via the mouse. Thank you for that, Dave. Thanks for the tips on lockdown anyway, so I've got plenty of time. Exactly, this is why I've done this. This is why I've bought you know, this F-18 Hornet and the Persian Gulf map, because it was on sale anyway. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it, really, to indulge in our passions. That map display is so damn bright in VR, it's next to impossible to read without turning down the brightness. I'm not finding a problem at the moment with that. Oh, actually, I see what you mean. No, yeah, this one here. Yeah, if I turn that up now, of course it's getting a bit lighter now, but yeah, it is ridiculously bright. So yeah, we'll be I did actually turn that down. That will probably be like that in the real thing, maybe, or maybe not quite like that. But I'd imagine playing this with a valve index would be a nightmare because of the lens flare. Lens flare? Is that right? The glare, sorry, the glare inside the headset. No, I honestly think the Reverb, if you think it's got all the good stuff, it's got those 4K panels which just look so damn sharp. You can read everything with this, and you really need to have a headset like the Reverb when you're looking at these DDI displays. It's got really good black levels for an LCD display, it's got nice integrated audio, and the glare levels are very minimal, nowhere near as bad as the CV1s. Probably about the same as the Rift S in terms of its glare, but nowhere near as bad as the Index. Right, quick coffee sip here. Dark shadow, God rays, yes, God rays, not whatever I said, that's what I meant. And Dave, you can switch off the map. Yeah, I could probably do that actually. I don't really need it on because I've got the other one, so I can switch it off. But I do like to see that moving map display. I know it sounds a bit silly, but the cockpit reminds me of my bike. Because my motorbike has a screen at the top with a nice moving kind of colour map, and then it has like these displays, and it's almost like they've copied the F-18. And of course this is a little bit more modern and a lot more sophisticated. So this, you know, I love this map because this is the second, even third time I've done this now. And I love how the variety of the desert, and at the moment we're kind of out in the sticks, those mountains and everything, but once we get to that point there, we'll be heading back, and we'll be heading over basically along the coastline, and we'll be heading into the jaws of Dubai, and we'll be getting nice and low, and by the time we get there it should be nice and bright. The sun will be coming up and we'll get a good view. Oh, look at that. Listen to that rather. Totally in love. I absolutely adore this aircraft. It's really been great escapism at the moment. In fact, let me know how you guys are doing at the moment, because it really is quite a... The circumstances we're facing at the moment is so awful. And let me know what you're doing to escape all of the doom and gloom. It's not a nice time right now. Very scary time. So I do recommend, if you've got a bit of spare cash, spend it on, you know, things that you love doing, be it DCS, X-Plane. Say I bought the Edinburgh Orbex Airport the other day. Really nice airport, that. Very, very. But I might even do a stream later on in the afternoon of Vulcan Beta 2, because it's actually, I've noticed a bit of an improvement with the reverb. Now, I previously said that I've gone back to using the Rift S because it's a much nicer experience, but Beta 2, for whatever reason, the reverb's happier. I'm getting better frame rate. I'm getting about 40-45 frames per second now. Before I was getting about 25-30 frames per second and stutters everywhere. But quite honestly, I still feel like the Rift S is the better headset for X-Plane. But, you know, if you're into flight simming and you've got a very expensive VR headset, chances are, well, I'd recommend anyway, you indulge in all of the different sims that are out there. Don't limit yourself to one simulator, because each one has a completely different experience, and if you do have different and a variety of different sims, then the Reverb is literally the headset for you. It really is. Fantastic. So right now we are in the wild, just in the mountains, in the desert. This map is got such variety to it that before long we'll be basically in the weeds, nice and low, looking at all these city lights. What we'll do here, actually, we'll do a fancy turn.
Altitude.
And we'll slow down a bit first. We'll do a bit of a Cuban 8 manoeuvre. There's an airport down there. Now, the last couple of days I've been learning how to navigate in the F-18 Hornet by using ADF and the TACAN. It's very intuitive. Right, here we go then. Let's do a fancy turn. Messed that up completely. Whoa! Whoops! I thought, hang on a minute. When I was out in the flyby view, I thought I'd started that turn a bit too sharply and bled off too much speed. Right, so now we're going to be heading, wow, along the coastline and heading to Dubai, and we're going to get a bit lower now. Look at the lighting in this sim, it's just so good.
Altitude. Altitude.
So damn good. Right, let's just check the chat at the moment. Is when I check the chat, I lose all control of the aircraft, so I just need to make sure if I've done that now. Hang on a minute, there we go, yeah, that's it. Right, look at the chat. Hornet was my first purchase along with the Persian Gulf when it was on pre-order, don't regret it, and one of my favourite modules. Great to know, Dark. This isn't my first DCS module actually, thanks to a subscriber called Blurkeys. He gifted me a Huey, so I've been really enjoying that, and that's what started me off, to be honest. I'll have to go back again. I can't read the chat and fly at the same time, which is really annoying. You probably should use the Autopilot really, but... Building, adding to my sim rig and printing parts. Wow, that sounds cool. Is this the DCS beta or... Well, actually Daniel, I've been using the beta, but this is the... I've switched back to the public release just to test it out, and it's much better. For me, personally, I get way better frame rate, and I don't get some weird shadow problems with the terrain that I did. Because I already recorded this video once using the beta, and I was getting all sorts of glitches in VR. So so I wouldn't recommend the beta right now. Daniel, yeah, just wondering which version he's playing. Yeah, not presented to people use. Yeah, they do, but I prefer the public release at this point anyway. Yeah, I totally love this aircraft. You know, when sort of a few things come together to create something special, like DCS itself, and then the HP Reverb VR, and then an aircraft like the F-18, and this map as well. Those ingredients, when you put them all together, it creates something very special. And this is very, very special indeed. Right, quick coffee, and then we're going to get nice and low. Checking our fuel here. I haven't set my bingo fuel up. Hopefully we should be okay. We've got plenty of fuel there, so... Holy crap, that sounds good. So tempted to do a knife edge pass through there, but no, I'm not quite that skilled yet, so I'll leave that. Now, if anyone knows how to get rid of that altitude warning apart from clicking that, please let me know in the comments, because that's going to go off a little bit now and be really annoying, so hopefully. But yeah, I tell you what, when I got to this part the other day, and I wasn't even live streaming or anything like that, I was getting quite a few frame rates stutters with the beta version. This is the public release, and this is smooth as silk. I'm getting a very smooth 45 frames at least with the reverb, with about medium to high settings. Just for your information there. Quickly look at the chat again. Yeah, it is definitely better frame rate in the stable version, absolutely. Get rid of that. Well, hopefully guys, when I go to the outside view it's not too loud for you, because it's extremely loud in my headphones. But I just love, I mean, even if you didn't do any combat missions, just doing this it's worth buying. Because it feels like an Orbex style, you know, or even better than that map. It's really, really detailed. You get moving cars, trains. I love how you get environmental sounds as well, like the wind and birds and goodness knows what. Just those little details that a lot of people don't notice, but I'm a stickler for those little details. I think it makes the sim what it is. Just going slightly off the flight plan here, just to build some of these buildings. So good. So once I've done the training missions, which I'm about halfway through nearly, I'm going to do all of them and complete them all before doing a proper campaign, and I'm planning to do that. Oh, I'm looking forward to doing that, hopefully once I know exactly what I'm doing with this aircraft. But to be fair, I've learned so much, even this past week. Because I usually, even though the country's on lockdown, I am actually one of those that goes to work, but I'm currently on a 2-week holiday anyway, so I'm using this time as much as possible to be a fully fledged F-18 pilot. You have a dial on your right panel, scroll the knob to adjust the altitude warning. Dial on your right panel. Excellent. Excellent. That's brightness. You don't mean these down here, do you? That's not it there, is it? That's the com volume, isn't it? But I'll pull that down anyway. I don't think that's it. Oh, where is it? Can't find it, sorry. On the right panel. Well, the sun's coming up. Beautiful. Oh, she's majestic. Absolutely majestic. Those flyby. I just could carry on. I could just do that for hours, just listening to it. Especially at the moment, with basically the air show season in the UK is not looking very good. Nothing is it really? Everything's being cancelled. I was hoping to go to Download this year festival, and that's not going to happen. But of course, these things need to be put in place because the death toll right now is getting out of hand. It's, the time of this recording, it's 7,000. It's absolutely scary. It's awful. So we do need to be staying at home where we can. Right, next stop is Dubai. Quick sip of coffee. Again. How far behind is the stable from the beta? I use VR beta, but maybe I will change. They don't give any info. And maybe someone else can answer that one for you, Dave. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. I'm certainly no DCS hardcore user right now. In fact, I do use it a lot actually, but this is all new to me, so I'm not really best placed to say in terms of the difference. But all I can say is how it feels. And personally, the public release is far better on frame rate right now, so I'm sticking with that. And in terms of the visual graphics quality, I suppose, and how it feels, it doesn't feel any different to me personally. Down left of the hook, left of the hook. That's right, is it? No, that's right. I'm not going to be able to find it, am I? Oh dear, where is it? You don't mean this console here, do you? You mean this hook? The arrestor hook? Did you say left? No, still can't find it. I'm looking. Can't see anything yet. Right, we are about to head to the tallest, is this the tallest building in the world, I think? The name escapes me. But we're going to get nice and low now. Quick check of the chat. That was it. Oh, did I get it? Is that it there? Ah, right, got ya. Alright, so that will give me the warning for the... I can set that. Thank you very much. That's really helpful. I'll set it to 0 then. Brilliant. Really appreciate that. That's been annoying me for ages, and I just haven't got around to checking it out. Right, just look at the detail here, guys. Look at the amount of buildings. Whilst I'm in the Reverb with really good settings, I'm not running ultra settings, but I mean, look! I'll try not to crash, but oh my god! That would be very embarrassing if I do crash. We're going to scare the residents here with some fly passes of some of these buildings. This is fantastic. Now what I'm thinking of doing, guys, I'm thinking about doing a part 2 of this sort of Persian Gulf tour, and next time we're going to take the Huey for a nice down, low and slow tour of this area. So that will be probably the next video. Hopefully I might do a live stream again. Hopefully this is, please let me know, by the way, if this is smooth or reasonably smooth, you know, considering we are in VR. The mirror never is as smooth as it is in the actual headset, but I'm hoping this way I'm doing it is better than using the Steamvr mirror, which is just so laggy. It's really awful. Look at these boats here, look. And ships. There's detail everywhere. Staggering. Absolutely staggering. There we have it. That is, move that way a little bit, the tallest building in the world, I think. I've just forgotten the name of it. How annoying. I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments. That is incredible. Just look at that. You can really see why this aircraft, and the aircraft, but the map is £40 to buy. I mean, you get it in the sale, guys. Anyway, if you haven't got it, recommend just wait until DCS has another sale. But, yeah, really, really incredible stuff. Yeah, in the beta, you see those shadows there? That was all messed up in the beta. Looked terrible in VR. So hopefully they'll fix that before they make it public. Absolutely stunning. Now there's a building around here that's like a bit, it reminds me of Paris. It's like a square. But I'm like the worst tour guide for this area ever, aren't I? I'm just rubbish. I've got no knowledge at all of this area, but there is. I'm just looking for it. I thought we could see if we can fly through it. I did that in my last video. There it is. Right, we're going to try and fly through that without crashing. Just checking on our fuel there, looking good. Right, so hopefully we won't crash. Quick look at the chat. Get the aircraft stabilised. You've been to the top of it? Wow. The Burj Khalifa? I've obviously said that wrong, but wow, yes, that is the name. You've been to the top. How high is it? I'd like to know. With the window mixed reality, you just use a controller button to access the desktop. Works really well. Yes, that's what I'm doing, I think. Is that what you mean? Lots of stutters when the desktop is in view. Reasonably smooth, good. That's good to know. Thanks, Dark Shadow. Capital job. DCS and VR is as good as it gets at the moment. Totally agree, Richard. Try Sonic Boom. I certainly will. I will do that, definitely. The gauge you're on, yeah, I read that bit. Yes, I will definitely try Sonic Boom. What we'll do then, I'll just get rid of the chat for a moment then. Sorry guys, don't be too upset about that, just so I can just see if the performance is any better. To be fair though, the performance is fine anyway. I haven't noticed a single stutter yet. Isn't that incredible? No stutters at all. The reverb is just made for this sim. It's made for DCS. And now I've lost where I was going to go. Where are you? I noticed with the Rift S, if you have the desktop view up, if that's what you meant, the frame rates drop to the floor. It's really bad. But the Windows Mixed Reality does it better. Right, I can see it. We're going to go through this building here. Now I managed to do this without crashing last time, so hopefully, all being well, we'll get away with it. Wowzers. And then at that point I think we probably should start heading back to our... Right, we're doing 400 knots here, so we're going a bit quick. Do or die, this is it. Oh god. Oh yeah. I do say wow a lot, don't I? I can't help it. And there it is. Right, back on our flight plan then. We'll get to the airfield, and if we've got enough juice left, we'll do a sonic boom over the airfield.
Altitude.
Is that just reset? Just hear the altitude warning go off again then. Oh, I see, right, yeah, got it. It's an actual switch. Cool, right, I'll get the chat open again. Do you know what? I mean, you'd be surprised for me to say this, but as I own both the Rift S and the Reverb, comparing the Windows Mixed Reality software, which everyone absolutely hates, to the Oculus software, there isn't a lot in it for what I do. For flight simming, I find they both work really well. Recently, the Oculus software is a little bit buggier, I find. I think the Windows Mixed Reality, even though it might take a few more frames to run, because unfortunately you do have that as well as the Steamvr in order to use VR, so you've got an extra layer for your computer to run. I find it fine, you know. And like with this, the desktop view is very useful. Right, look at this chat. Thanks guys, have the reverb as well, and just saw the entire window. Gap is bigger than it looks. So we'll shout at you, just the beeping stops. Oh okay, yeah. Thanks Dave, nice one. 830 meters, 2,700 feet. My goodness me, I would love to go to the top of that, that would be amazing. Daniel, I'm going to let you have that comment. YouTube doesn't like it, but I'm not bothered. Shit sounds like I'll need to upgrade from the Rift S. The Rift S, if that's what you mean, the Rift S is, yeah, the audio is awful, quite honestly, it's not very good. Well, my doggies are woofing like crazy again. What method are you using to make 16:9 ratio? I've no idea, Dark Shadow, sorry. I'm not, you know, my knowledge when it comes to live streaming and stuff like this is actually not very good, so I don't really know what I'm doing, quite honestly. It might be just my resolution on my monitor that's doing it, I don't know. I'm using, by the way, a really old plasma 42-inch TV for my monitor. I'm not using a 4K monitor or anything near that, and I've used that for years and find that fine. Because, you know, I'm using VR most of the time, so I don't need a really high resolution monitor. Yeah, all cool. Thanks for joining me, by the way, guys. It's a pleasure to have you aboard, and I'm pleased that you trust me enough to fly along with me today inside this incredible jet. No idea how we've been managed. We've been streaming nearly an hour already, but we're heading home now, and we'll do a nice sonic boom before making a landing. Now, I've got a few videos coming up of the F-14 Tomcat dogfighting. This is a DCS, that is. I've got a series on the Spitfire, DCS Spitfire, comparing it to the IL-2 version, because I've got countless hours in the IL-2 combat sim. So we do a bit of dogfighting, we go through the complete engine start process and first flight. That's in the Rift S, by the way, and the Reverb, so we use both headsets for those videos. What else? Yeah, I think we'll do a bit of a test on Vulcan again.
Altitude. Altitude.
Got some Aerofly videos coming up as well, because I'm still using and enjoying that sim. And yeah, Prepared, by the way, guys, Prepared version 5 has been announced. Was it yesterday? Out of nowhere, like Lockheed Martin, they do that. That's what happened last time. They don't give us any like indication, any rumours, any previews. It's just, oh, by the way, just to let you know, a new version of our flight sim's coming out next week. Cheers. Like, where did that come from? And you know what? It's interesting if you compare it, if you think about it this way. We've Prepared version 5. If we didn't have Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 or 2021, whenever it's going to be released, if we didn't know about that and we saw version 5 Prepared with its volumetric clouds, I think we'd be a bit more excited about it, because that's kind of what the evolution has been like. It's been very steady. Each flight sim that's come and gone is just, you know, raised the bar that little bit more each time. So we probably would have expected it and accepted it. But because of the new Microsoft Flight Sim and what is coming with that, you know, as we all know, it's making everything else look a little bit crap, to be honest. For lack of a better word. But let me know what you guys think. But as I say, Prepared version 5 will be released next week, and I don't think I'll be getting it. So I've got version 4, but now I'm quite happy. I've already got enough sims of these with DCS, IL-2, Aerofly, Prepared version 4, X-Plane, Elite Dangerous. Even whilst being in lockdown, there's still not enough hours in the day, I tell you, to do this as well as your normal life. Joe, I just got a reverb and I'm struggling to remove the ghosting effect when another aircraft flies past you at close range. That means, well, basically, the Achilles heel, if I'd like to call it, with the reverb, is not the headset itself, but the reprojection system. It's quite archaic, really, when it compared to the Oculus Rift. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. I'm talking loads, that's what it is. Don't worry, I'm fine. You need to hit 45 frames per second, so really you need to just dial those settings down a little bit. Or you could try going into your Steamvr Settings. I've got a video on that. It is for X-Plane, but it will work with DCS. And change your reprojection setting to motion vector. That way, even at 30 frames per second, you'll get a much smoother experience. So have a look for that video. It's on my channel. That might help you a little bit. Excuse me. Right, this is our final waypoint, and we're going to be heading back to the airport, or air base. so good. Just so good. So in case any of you are wondering, this is the DCS F18 Hornet and we're flying in the Persian Gulf map. I bought these two on the sale. The map was £20 and the aircraft was £30. So basically 50% off on both. And really, it's for the experience you get, it's unmatched. There's no other experience like this anywhere other than doing this in the real thing. So, you know, totally worth it. Yeah, Richard, it is. It's definitely a frame rate issue there. So, but also the projection mode, you might even have it. It might be actually that you're hitting 45 frames per second, but the trouble is you haven't got motion projection enabled in your Steamvr settings. Unfortunately, that's where things get a little bit more difficult with the Reverb than the Rift S. Everything's done for you with the Rift S. The motion projection is superb. You just need to go and check that config file, and there'll be two like backslashes, and if that basically if there's two backslashes before the motion projection, that means it's disabled. You need to take them out and either use auto mode or motion vector. It all sounds very complicated, but trust me, it's easier than it sounds. If you just check that video out, I explain it. I think it's, you don't need to watch the whole thing. I think it's sort of at the back end of the video. So, oh, step the turn there. So we should be seeing our airbase any time now. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. I think what we'll do is we'll run in and really and not basically get told off by doing a sonic boom right across the airfield. Look at that, just those displays and the lighting and everything are so clear. Like the map, I wasn't able to read that in the Rift S, but I can in the Reverb, and it's the tiniest text. Like even the backup altimeter and the actual altimeter barometric pressure, that's 2992. I wasn't able to read that in any other headset but the Reverb. And I know it's expensive, but when you think about the 8KX, which is about 3 times the price, no, I think it's pretty good value to me. Oh, we had a stutter then, guys. That was our first stutter. Right, like the afterburners, let's go for a sonic boom. When I first did this in DCS, I thought I'd try it. I had no idea it was model, so I was quite taken back. I think we have to go above 660 knots, I think. Come on, here we go. Here we go, sonic boom. Oh, not quite, not quite. Didn't quite reach it. Oh, come on, F18 Hornet, don't disappoint me now. No, we're not quite there. Maybe I'm just too low, I think. And I'm quite heavy as well. Tell you what, try that again. Go a bit further.
Altitude.
Oh, this is so much good fun. When the world is going mad right now, everything's really, really depressing. Just jump in VR. Just escape it, even for an hour. It's very good for your mental health. I hugely recommend it, guys. And usually on a nice day I'd be on the bike, I'd go somewhere nice, but I can't do that right now because it's all about essential travel, so you shouldn't be really using transport unless it's essential. So because of that, VR is even more important than it was before. Okay, this is it, here we go. Sonic boom! Oh, yes! Oh, That makes me giggle every time. Right, before we run out of fuel, let's slow down and get to landing. Make sure we're below 250 knots. Have a look, craning our neck there. It's really a physical thing, VR, you know, you're having to move around the cockpit, look around, just like you would in the real thing. It's, I remember the days of Track IR, and I tried the Track Hat solution, which was like the poor man's version of Track IR, and I had to like have my room, there's a certain amount of light you needed, I think, was it, or was it, you had to have it really dark, one of the two, I can't remember, and I used a PlayStation camera, and yeah, it was just, it didn't work very well at all. How things have moved on. Right, so flaps, put them at half. Forgive me guys if I don't do this correctly, I'm still learning this aircraft. But I'm getting to know it more and more every day. It's funny these days at the moment when I think, right, I'm going to do some VR. What shall I use? X-Plane, DCS, Aerofly, but at the moment it's always DCS. Or IL2. I'm really enjoying these sort of combat sims. I think they've come on so much in this past sort of 6 months even, really. Well, I need to get the correct alpha profile. I probably won't. I know that green blob thing there, I need to kind of point that towards the threshold of the runway. And you don't really flare in the F-18. You kind of basically fly it onto the runway. I'll just get landed first and then I'll check the comments. I think I'm going way too fast. Oh, you guys in the comments, and if you're watching this who are really like proficient at flying this thing, you're going to be looking at this thinking, what is he doing? It's fine, as long as I can get it to land. You can always go around. Oh god. It drops, doesn't it? It drops like a stone. Oh my god. No, I'm not happy with this. I'm going to go around.
Check gear, check gears.
Going around.
Check gear, check gears.
Sometimes the hardest thing to do is to go around. But that wasn't looking very pretty, so we'll try that again. Maybe if I stop talking it might help. So before we do that again, I'll just check the chat again. A second. Trim to the E bracket. Yes. Thank you, Dave. I didn't do any trimming, so that's well on, Steve. Hey Don, good to see you here. Thank you for coming along. Put my headphones into my Rift S and then it sounds great. Yeah, totally. If it doesn't blow up, it's all good. Absolutely. Any lander you can walk away from is a good one. Yeah, actually, yeah, you're totally right. The Rift S, all it needs really, you just have some earbuds or some headphones, and then everything's good. Everything's all good. But, you know, it's just a pure joy just getting to know this aircraft. Even just doing circuits. The other day I was just doing circuits for hours. Just getting to know all of its little, you know, behaviour. All the behaviours, the little idiosyncrasies of its flight model, and it's just wonderful. Right, what I'm going to do now, guys, you'll be pleased to know I'm going to shut up. I'm just going to concentrate on this landing this time, because I think that's what I was doing wrong. I'm There's the trim up as well, which I wasn't doing. So. Landing gear coming down. Silky smooth performance here. I'm too high, never mind. I'm too fast. Keep to around 140 knots. He's already feeling better than before. Need to respect this bird. She's not a toy. Far from it. I can almost feel that everyone watching this is holding their breath going, oh, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? No pressure. I can't help but flare a little bit, but really, oh, hang on. Might be a bit of a long landing this. Oh, that was alright. Wasn't the best landing I've done, to be fair, but it'll do. We're on the ground. I'm happy with that. Wasn't too bad. As always, your best landings are always off camera. But we've made it and we're alive, so it's been a success. Nose wheel steering coming on. And there we have it, guys. That is the F-18 Hornet and the Persian Gulf map. What do you think? I think it's absolutely incredible. It's gorgeous. It's really, really stunning. It's a wonderful alternative experience in VR that I think everyone should, with a VR headset, should, you know, have the pleasure of trying out. And at the moment, you've been able to do it for free. I think the Persian Gulf map actually at the moment is free, unless that's finished. The work and keep their hands down, apparently no brag in case it's a flop or to impress. It's so annoying, I've got to read them comments so fast, otherwise, in fact what we'll do is we'll just, no, we're not parking it there. Where we're going, I have no idea where we're going. Yeah, we don't really want to be parking with the F-15s. That's what, I see the F-15s all the time where I live, up in the sky doing their dogfighting. It's quite incredible. I even saw one go into a stall the other day. I'm not sure if he was supposed to do that or not, but he was right on the edge of the flight envelope and you saw him almost do like a hammerhead. And it was a few years ago, we actually had an F-15 that crashed near us because of obviously the training that they're doing. So sometimes things do go wrong. So we open the canopy. So I'll just park up, guys, and just look at the chat afterwards, just to mop up comments. I think, is it, yeah, that's high nose wheel steering. I'm doing this off the keyboard because I haven't got that, I've still got quite a few buttons to assign, so, including the throttle cut-off lever. I've forgotten what that is. I'll have a look in a second. And there we are. Absolutely incredible. What a sim. Question is, how do you what's the key, guys, for the the throttle to cut the throttles off. I've forgotten. I'll have a look at the chat now. Voice attack is brilliant for ATC. Not sure. Thanks, Richard. Yeah, I've heard about this, but I need to check that out. Richard, love the Spitfire, but what a terror for taxiing. Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't have conventional toe brakes, so what I do is I basically bind the wheel brake to my right pedal, and you need to constantly be adjusting that with the power setting. And by the way, in VR, as I'll show in a video because I'll put it live soon, is you kind of have to look left and right and do S-turns. And once you get it right, it's actually quite a rewarding experience taxiing, but it can be very frustrating. Used to love watching the red arrows practicing above me in Kent. Yeah, absolutely. There is Scampton. I'm about 25 miles away from Scampton, and it is a joy watching them, definitely. Oh, T-Dub. Sorry that you've just missed this live stream. No worries, buddy, but thanks for coming and saying hello anyway. Much appreciated. I'm just going to... because I've forgotten the... God, I've been shouting, haven't I? Sorry, guys, if I've been shouting too much. It's the engines. Adjust controls. I just need to find out the idle cutoff, throttle, right shift end. I need to bind this to my controls. There's no excuse. And right alt end. There we go. Just go outside, listen to that cool down there. Beautiful. Beautiful. My Windows mixer controller's falling asleep. Open it up again. So there we are, guys. I hope you've enjoyed that little live stream. It's been great fun having you along with me today. So I might do another one later on with the Beta 2 Vulcan. But we shall see. But for now, I'm going to bid you farewell. And I hope you enjoyed this little tour around the Persian Gulf in this epic jet, the beautiful F-18 Hornet. I'll see you all soon. Take care and bye for now.